for you. The 9 P's of workshop preparation. The first P, straight to the point, is why are we holding this session? It's all about questioning. For you to know the purpose of anything, ask the right question. So there are 2 questions you can ask. Why are we holding this session? Is this purpose more simple or more complex? For example, why are we having this training session on professional certification for workshop facilitators? Simple. To help informal or unprofessional people who desire to build a career in workshop facilitation to develop the right skills, the right knowledge, and the right exposure to succeed in the career, right? That is the why. And is this why complex or simple? Now, why is this question important? Because if your why is complex, trust me, your training design will be complex. Your delivery will be complex. And if it is complex, you need to make sure you have the right knowledge and the right tools to ensure that you deliver a complex training very well. Yes, there are complex trainings. For example, if I am teaching somebody on how to be a good business strategist, it's a very complex training. It's very complex. So when you are aware, you even prepare yourself, you prepare yourself mentally. You are ready for it. Or a complex training can be a long training. I've had training several times that will run from 9 a.m. in the morning to 5 p.m. Just the length of the workshop is already complex. It now prepares me to know the kind of dress to wear. I hardly wear student that kind of a training. I hardly wear gentleman shoes. I like to wear tennis because it's a long session. You get the point. So all of this helps you to understand. Is the purpose simple or complex? Right? Because it helps you a lot to prepare many things. So establish the purpose of the session. Let's say after this, Memphis now says, I want to hold a training to help young accountants or entry accountants in companies to prepare financial statements. Okay, that's a good workshop. But why do you want do you want to do that session? Okay, the why is many entry accountants in companies don't know the practical process of preparing financial statements and analyzing them according to the current or harder standards and the finance law. You now see the why. Now, this why alone now help us. Is it complex or simple? Okay, it can actually be complex. They don't know the recent finance law. So she needs to make sure that the finance law is available, or she can send the link to the finance law for them to download and study before the workshop. Oh, it can be complex because just to know the Ohada law itself and to understand, it's not bongbongo, it's not easy. So that can be complex. So what can I do to make it, how can I uncomplex it? Is there an English word like uncomplex it? Good. So you know what? I think I will send the Ohada manual for them to study. Then I will try to summarize the Ohada laws into a more simpler language that can make them to understand better. You see, that's why you ask. See, just this one question breaks you down a lot. And I always ask this question a lot. I just finished a corporate training a few days ago, yesterday, right? Then last day was yesterday with the organization in Douala. And I always ask this question. So why I always ask it on behalf of the organization. And when I'm having a pre-meeting with them, I also ask them, so why are you guys holding this session? When I come alone, I still break it down for total understanding because it helps me to structure the session better. Will this be a complex session or a simple session? So establish your purpose. So for those of you already thinking on what workshop to organize after this, and I emphasize after this, days of certification program, all of you must organize a paid workshop. I don't want to catch a free workshop. Paid workshop. So you need, what is the purpose? Why are you holding that session? Then write it down. So this is your assignment today. That workshop you have in your mind, go and state the why of that workshop. Go and state the why of that workshop. Write the purpose statement of that workshop. Number 2, position. Is the position of this session more pivotal or more routine? Now, like I was talking about the pilot, there are some sessions that may happen once, and there are some that they can become a routine. Okay, so this talks about the position in your organization. Like, for example, in our training business, in our training institute, the mini MBA program, the position is routine. It's a routine session that we do every after three months. We have the deep program, the marketplace positioning fellowship. It happens every after 1 month. That's the routine. Now, this now also helps in logistics, preparation, attitude of the trainer or the team, and they know what to expect and what not to expect. So as you are preparing for your training, ask yourself, what is the position in your training business or in your training career? Will this be, a routine, or what is the pivotal role of that session in the whole of the ecosystem that you also have? Establish that. Is the position of this session more pivotal or more routine, right? Establish that. The third P is the process, and this is very important. Are the processes for this session complex, well established? How will we go about achieving the purpose and the product? Talking about the purpose in 1. What is the process of achieving the purpose? Okay, so it's talking about the process of delivering a workshop in general. What is the process? From the assessment right to the evaluation. What is the step-by-step process? In other words, this is also talking about the workshop structure. This helps you also to decide the workshop structure. What is the process? If it is on-site, what is the process? Like my team will tell you, we have a communication process when we're doing an on-site program. And we developed that process because of this P. Like for those of you who have attended our workshop on-site, you will notice that when it is 1 week to the session, you receive an SMS or an email. When it is 3 days, you receive it. When it is 1 day, you receive it. On the morning of the session, you receive it. It's the communication process. Same as there's the delivery process. Ask the team, they'll tell you. On the training day, everybody, all the team, if we're doing it in the office, all the team members should be at the office 1 hour before the training. And the hall should be standard set 1 hour. The screen should be on, the laptop should be there, the slide should be ready 1 hour before the training starts. Process. It minimizes funny stuff. Like here with our virtual sessions, you guys know that it's our routine that 10 minutes before time, you receive the link. It's our routine. And if you notice, when it's exactly 7 p.m., I will tell you, oh, it's 7 p.m., let's begin. Have you guys noticed that? It's process. It's not guesswork. It's not assumption. It's process. And process also includes time. How long are we going to deliver this? Yeah, and you are conscious of that. Every good trainer is conscious of the time. So you need to, the second, well established. Is the process well established? Well established means, is it written? A process that is not written down, is not documented, is not a process. A well-established process is documented. What is the process they are going to go through to deliver the training, to deliver the workshop? Write it down. And when you write it down, it helps you not to forget things. Many facilitators forget things because they never write down their workshops process. I always write it down. It could be a Scrabble paper, I write it down. It could be on a Google sheet, I write it down. Because it helps me think better to not to forget things. You come to a workshop, you forget a board marker for your board. It's because they write it down. You come to the workshop, you forget, or your laptop, you forget things that normal, on a normal sense, you should not forget it. Normal is now street English. Those who are not Cameroonians. On a normal circumstance, you should not be forgetting certain things. When you forget certain things, it means that your process is not established. It's the same like for our conferences. When we're doing an external conference in a hotel or all of that, we have our process. One of our process states that the hall should be ready the day before. That's why if you notice, the team will tell you, we are always in the hall on the night of before the event happens. In some cases, personally, sometimes I will have to pay for the hotel and sleep in the hotel just to be sure. Sometimes there are challenges, yes, but let some challenges not be, like for example, imagine a workshop is starting and that is the time when they're testing the mic and they're trying to fix the projector. Nothing aches me like when I see that happens. When there's a process, people should enter and see everything set and you're ready to begin. Yeah, sometimes you said that, sometimes the mic will stop working. Because, yeah, but let it be when you already did your best. But when you do your best and prepare with the process, most of those things are minimized. Something happened in Boya when I had an event and there was a red carpet event. And I paid the red carpet host and she came 30 minutes late. I sent her back and I told her to refund my money. I warned her dangerously. If you don't refund that money by tomorrow, I'm locking you up immediately. What the hell? Why will you come 30 minutes late? And hear the excuse that she gave me. Oh, I thought that would be our normal Cameroon time. What the hell? Are you okay? It was a Shadow Hotel, 2017, kind of. Yeah. And guess what? I communicated her. And that's one thing I always do. If I'm working with you on something, trust me, I will communicate to you because it's part of I cannot forget to communicate to you. I will communicate to you and I will remind you. We are expecting you 30 minutes before by this time. Process. So make sure you have your process written down. It helps you not to, forget certain things, not to minimize certain things which are important. I'm spending time on this because when you miss out on your process, your workshop will suffer. And when your workshop suffers, their transformation, creation in the life of your participant will struggle. Have it in mind and do your best, okay? Number 4, the 4th P is participation. Does everyone's participation and contribution matter in this session? This is a very important question because not all sessions require everybody's point of view, right? For example, if you are leading a workshop and you are using your expert style of presentation, we saw this on day 1, right? When you're using the expert model, you don't need everybody's participation. You need them to pay attention and listen to the expert knowledge you have to deliver to them. But if you are using the facilitative model, then everybody's participation is important. So you need to be clear about this from the beginning. Or if you have divided a workshop into 2, where the first part is expert model. People sit, listen, take notes, pay attention, and get the knowledge of delivery in the first 2 hours or 3 hours or first of the day. It's clear. You know that. Then the second part could be the facilitative model where everybody now participates. And you can now announce in this session, everybody actively participates. And you can even give the rules of participation. Raise up your hand. we throw a speaker to you, we throw the mic to you, we do something, you can create something that will make it fun, exciting, and involve everybody. You can create a structure. In my case, when I activate the participation, the P of participation, what I do is I go in a sequential order. I can start from the back, and I say everybody must talk in the process like that. So that way everybody is involved and everybody contributes. So you need to decide the participation model. Is it a must for everybody to participate? Like, for example, when I do public speaking training, for example, I do public speaking training, sometimes part is online and the last day is on-site, or the last 2 days is on-site. The last 2 days is for everybody to bring their PowerPoint presentation and stand and deliver as public speakers. Now, that involves everybody's participation. And participation, you can also decide that participation will be in the form of people asking questions for you to clarify. So the fourth P that you need to prepare and have in advance is participation. Because this you can now create the framework of participation. Don't just allow a normal participation. Personally, for me, I have different ways to encourage participation. One of my favorite ways is somebody stands, asks a question, contribute. Then I ask them to choose somebody who they would like to ask a question. It becomes fun. You see, somebody will turn and start thinking, who should I collect? Who should I point? Who should I point? You see people being afraid. It creates fun. People start laughing, right? It's part of the atmosphere. It's part of the euphoria that we enjoy in the process. Or sometimes we create, okay, you know what? The person that asks the best question, everybody contribute 1,000 francs, whatever, I'll buy the person lunch or whatever. You just create something and you decide this kind of exciting stuff before the training day, because you are following the P's of workshop preparation. So I'm believing that after today, somebody goes and activate all of these P's, your workshop, whether it's even a normal WhatsApp workshop. I don't know how you can even host a workshop on WhatsApp, because workshop means people are doing stuff, right? There's anything that you do that people don't do things is not workshop. It's either a seminar or a keynote address. Workshop involves people do things. And I said WhatsApp, then my mind started recollecting that which kind of workshop on WhatsApp. Okay, number 5, people. Is the combination of people who will be participating in this session complicated? Who will be attending the session? Yes. Let me tell you something. This is very important. Very important. I remember a session that the US Embassy invited me to lead a session on how to scale a business. I will never forget that session. God helped me. Oh. I changed my training. Thank God that I'm good at business. I had to stop the slide I brought. I did not use again. I had to go to square one. So when they said I should speak on how to scale a business, my mind was, I am coming to speak to people who already have businesses. I brought strategies to scale and make millions. I came wounded with millions making strategies. And then when I started talking the first 2 slides, remember we spoke about every good trainer or facilitator is sensitive, right? When I started talking, I understood. When I look at their faces, these guys were lost. These guys were lost. I was speaking from Mars and they were still in Banso. They were lost, totally messed out somewhere. And I said, wait. And I said, wait. And I said, wait. If you have a business and you're making money every month, raise up your hand. Guess what? On the one person raised up the hand, I said, my goodness, what did these embassy people do to me? I say, oh, okay. Say, what? Total mess up. So the combination of the people, the fifth P was not respected. It's the combination of the people who will participate in this session complicated. The complication is Sometimes you can deliver a session on the top. Like here is easier. In this way, it's easier because all of you here want to become good facilitators, want to become professional. So we are on the same page. So there's no complication. But let me tell you, there are some sessions that the crowd will be complicated. Some will be starting, some will be in the middle, some will be at the top. Like, for example, pastors. Anytime you're ministering as a pastor, you are always ministering to a complicated crowd. You have the educated, uneducated, you have farmers, you have bankers, you have chunk pushers, you have buyer salam, you have every corporate. Everybody is in your church. So you need to be very dynamic in how you deliver. You understand? That's a complicated crowd for you. So you need to be conscious of this. Who are those attending? And that's why a group of people that you cannot determine exactly who are those attending. Like here, it's easy to know who are those who are attending. Make sure you do a form to collect data and have an idea. Or if you're an invited guest, talk to the organizers. I always like to ask the question, tell me about the participants that may be coming. So in this US Embassy training, guess what? I had to start a fresh training on how to start a business. I had to start a fresh training on how to convert an idea into a startup business. I taught for 2 hours with a start I did not prepare. Luckily, it's my business. So I could do that effortlessly. And then I started seeing smiles. People started smiling. And I seen people started being active. So, So be careful about this. You will face it if you don't pay attention to this. You prepare very good presentation, wear your best suit and your best dress and your best shoe. And then you go start pouring out grammar and nobody will smile back at you. You only be pouring, speaking with power, mighty power, and no transformation because you are speaking things that people cannot understand. You are speaking from the fourth heavens while guys are still on earth. They'll be like, I say, oh boy, you learn something. Like, my man, I'll be checking and I may want to be lost. Right? So make sure you remember P, the fifth P. The sixth P is power. The power factors among this group impacts psychological safety and the ability to add value for participants. Yes, the power here talks about the normal power you have if you have in mind, where sometimes, there are some people that can demonstrate a lot of power and all of that. You need to be sure about that. That's why sometimes in most workshops, depending on the session where I'm leading, sometimes you go to a workshop where I have a sense that some people are more, there are some guys in position and there are some guys with no position. I like to use the sentence that in this particular hall right now, everybody is the same and I am the head boy. I always say that. And I always try to send a message. Like I've gone to somewhere, sometimes you can see a minister, you can see a CEO of a top company, you can see a community leader and all of that. If you are not careful, that's a power factor in play among the group, which can impact their psychological safety. There are some people that will not be comfortable to contribute or to be active because they feel that they are nobody, they are not nothing. You understand? Yes. So you need to be very sensitive with that. Very sensitive. So when I go to a seminar or an exclusive workshop, whatever, I will always make this statement very loud and clear. In this particular workshop, everybody is a participant. We are all VIP participants. And at this particular moment and today, I am the only head boy in this participating group. Right? So I am the head boy and you are all VIP participants. There's no under VIP and there's no over VIP. So we are here to learn, to share, and everybody is intelligent. There's no dull human being in this place. When you say this, you create a zone of safety. You send a strong message to those who came with power in their head and those who are feeling under nobodies. You now bring a balance. Everyone now feel that, everybody is the same. Everybody now speaks freely, contributes, add value. Everybody plays a role and all of that. You now see people standing up and being willing to lead in groups. If you don't do this sometimes in a place where there are top CEOs and powerful people, when you do group assignments, you see that those who have low self-esteem or complex issues, they will not like to take leadership roles in groups because they are always seeing that, oh, see, this man is the CEO, like the big man, let this man be the group leader. No, it minimizes a lot. But when you create zone of safety, everybody can stand and become group leaders, team leaders, contributors. Okay, so you need to pay attention to power issues in the groups or in among your participants. Okay, one of my favorite P's: product. What do we want to have when we are done? That's your product. What I want to have when I am done with this professional workshop certification program is that everybody should be able to be a confident, competent facilitator who can deliver a good workshop, get paid, create transformation, and replicate this as much as possible. That is the final product that I want to get after this. What do we want to have when we are done? That's the first part of the product. Let's say one of us said that she's going to do a workshop on handling low self-esteem in the lives of young girls. Okay, that is good. What's the final product? Confident babes. Right? Yes, you want to produce confident ladies. Simple. That's your final product as per that area. The products are the specific items to be produced during the meeting that will define the achievement of the purpose. Yes. Talking about items now, we're talking about if there are, let's say you're doing a workshop on graphic designs. Now, items now coming. The product is at the end of the graphic design workshop, all the participants should produce one professional, standard looking flyer. That is it. It shows proof. It defines the achievement. You will want to identify what you want people to have in their hands, in their heads, and in their hearts. Oh, I always love this. Hands, heads, and hearts. Hands, deliverables. Heads, knowledge. Heart, belief. Like after today, what do I want you to have in your hands? Your ability to create your own workshops. That's what I want you to have. Create your own workshops in your industry. You are in the accounting field, create workshops in your industry. You are in agriculture, do your stuff. You are in vocational skills, cakes, you make soaps, body lotion, whatever. Do stuff. Heads, get this deep knowledge on what it entails to be a good facilitator. All of these things I am sharing on preparation, delivery, all of that, let it be stuck in your head. Carry it around you for the rest of your life. Improve on it. Carry the knowledge in your head. And then your heart, believe. Believe that you can become the best there is. You can become a successful, paid, highly sought after facilitator that can be sought across nations. Like I was sharing one time with you guys. One of the highest things that have made me to travel nations, 20 nations counting, is facilitation. Yes, public keynote addresses have been there too, but just a company will just say, Joybert, we need you here. They pay my flight, I go there, silently do my work, come back, live well, and I'm there. People will not see it. People just like, Joybert is in this country, but he has not been to any events. What did he go to do there? I went to do a private workshop. For some of you that don't know. In not every country that you need to go and speak in a large conference. In any country, I'll go there and then you will see big pictures and large people. No. Sometimes they'll just pay my flight. I just have to enter there, do one thing in one company, flex around, see the country, and then come back. Did I speak to more than 20 people? No. But I did relevant stuff. Facilitation is a powerful skill. And I want you to believe that you can do that after this. And that's why you are learning all of this. Let your belief system grow. Believe that in 5 years, in 2 years, in 1 year, in 10 years, you will become a highly sought after. Why? Because I'm teaching you the possibilities. I'm teaching you the frameworks, the process. This is the way to greatness. Believe it, walk through it, and become it. Hands, heads, and hearts. Anytime you're designing your training, think of hands, heads, and hearts. Hands, heads, and hearts. My sister used to be in 3H. For those who are Baptist Christians, they have the 3H for Jesus now. Head, hands, and hands for Christ. That's it. I don't know if that's the process, but something like that. Right? It's a girls, for those who are not Baptist Christians, it's a girls group in the church. They have the 3H. That's where the 3H girls came from. They call them 3H girls. Heads, hands, and heads, hearts, and hands for Christ. Yes, I think that's the process. I can't remember again. Yes, 3H girls. Somebody is confirming here. Right? Good. So anytime that you are designing your workshop, remember the 3H. Hands, deliverables. And again, for those who are doing like hands-on, let's say like you're doing a workshop on a business plan. Your hands is let all the entrepreneurs leave with completed business plans, deliverables. Heads, let them know how to write as many business plans as possible. Hearts, let them believe that they can convert that business plan into a profitable growing business. Number 8, probable issues. Probable issues. Probable issues. What are the potential problems and issues that may surface? Yes, always anticipate this. If you organize a workshop and you don't anticipate this, you're in trouble. What may arise in your workshop? I knew that in this workshop, some people are following on places in Cameroon and across Africa, they may have network issues. Okay, we're going to record the session and share later with you guys. Probable issues that may arise. Right? So anticipate. In some parts of Africa, you may have electricity issues. Power may go off. If you are doing an on-site event, what may happen? What about traffic? Traffic may happen. Okay, leave early. Probable issues. Every workshop has probable issues. The best way to overcome them is to anticipate and sort it out. Deal with it in advance. Strategically deal with it in advance. Okay? And then another part of probable issues is, are there specific topics you feel should not be discussed in the session? Yes, you may anticipate that, look, people may bring out these topics and you may not like to discuss it. You can cut it out. For example, politics. Like I've led a couple of sessions like the capital city in Yaoundé, and then I'm leading a business session with company leaders and entrepreneurs, and then they start bringing political issues. Oh, the country is terrible, all of that. The president can leave power. And they, oh, chill, calm down. Don't set me up in this country. Eh? Just relax. We are here to talk strategy and business. Don't go to politics. Let's understand the tasks available. We know those things are there. It's your job as the entrepreneur to be resourceful and find a way around it. Don't bring and before they say that we're an opposition party and then start finding a way to arrest people in this country. So calm down, all right? So learn how to stamp out certain issues like the civil crisis in Cameroon, Nigeria, all of these areas. If there are sensitive topics, somebody can ask a question and start giving an example. Like, for example, then they raise the crisis and start going to areas that it can lead to, it can lead to things that can lead to an attack or future problems. Stop it. So anticipate probable issues and have a plan and know. Sometimes before some certain trainings, you announce it In this session, the following topics are not to be discussed. In some workshops, we say religious matters are not to be discussed. We are not here to discuss religion. We're here as human beings, not Muslims, not Christians, not Buddhists, not atheists. We're here as human beings. We're here as professionals. So keep that aside. So you can anticipate some of these things and make sure that you have a plan in place to stop it. And the plan could be you can address it as part of the ground rules for the workshop. Because there are some topics that if you allow them, they can lead to fights. People can argue because some topics are very sensitive. There are some topics that if you allow, like football, you allow the guy from team A, you allow Cristiano Ronaldo fan and Messi fan to argue, fight must certainly come out. You're in trouble. So you can say, no football discussion here. I'm not ready to separate any fights. Right? So anticipate probably if that may arise around your workshop and try to sort it out. Okay? Try to sort it out. Have a plan B if need be, and just stop some if they be. All right. Of course, you cannot talk about the 9 P's of preparing for your workshop without talking about their place. Where will the session be held? Or what virtual meeting platform will be utilized? What are the logistics to get the place ready? Every workshop facilitator should always have a deep thought about the place, especially on site. If it's on site, okay, will this site need tables or just chairs? But I can bet you anything workshop needs tables and chairs. It is seminars and conferences that can operate without tables. But workshops, trust me, people need tables. What about other logistics? Do you need speakers? Do you need microphones? Is there a projector installed on site or a screen installed on site? All of that. You determine the place and make sure all the logistics that you need for that place to be effective, the logistics are available. Personally, for me, I always prefer a site that has everything. I will not be bringing external stuff. The sound system, the tables and the chairs and the projectors and everything that I need, the boards, all of that. If I want to bring things external, it should just be like board markers, stickers, and any extra innovative logistics that I need to enhance my training to become much fun. I prefer that. Okay. For virtual platform, decide. Do you want to use the Zoom platform? Do you want to use Skype? Do you want to use Google Hangouts? Do you want to use whatever you want to use? Make sure that you have everything ready for that platform to effectively enable you to deliver the kind of workshop experience that you desire. So the 9th P is very important. So that is it for this session on the 9 P's. And make sure that as a workshop facilitator, you always take note of these 9 P's. Sometimes you can just have them where you can always check to make sure that for those that still started to use this, trust me, you always need to consult it, because I used to do it. I used to just check to be sure that, hey, I have covered everything, right? But since I've been doing it for several times and a lot of times, I'm used to it. I just know that, okay, it's like part of the whole DNA ecosystem that we have put in place. Automatically, all our workshops go very well, or trainings or conferences, because it's just like a whole ecosystem that we do that, okay? So thank you very much. Any questions? So the question is, if you are hired to facilitate a workshop, and when you get there, you now realize that you need to become the expert. Because when you're a facilitator, you just guide people and coach people when you're using the facilitator consultants to achieve something. But you now notice that for these people to produce the result that they expect from you to coach them to produce, they will need a particular type of knowledge. So it means you will need to become an expert facilitator. So you are moving from a facilitative coach or facilitative consultant to becoming expert facilitator, because these two people or these two types of facilitators do different things. But you can become, you can be both. It all depends, right? So either you talk to the organizer and you say, look, if you can give them reason, because most organizers are not technicians, and always know that you are a technician. You are going through this training to become a technician, an expert. So you have the technical knowledge of the industry, of the sector, than your workshop organizer. So you may need to take the discussion back to the person if need be, or what I've done most of the times is I try to manage in the process. I facilitate and I teach at the same time, if you can do that. But there was a case that I had to talk to the person. I said, look, based on what they want to achieve, it was a sponsored grant. So you need to make sure that they are doing the grant doing well. I said, look, you brought it for one day, but from what I'm seeing, I told the person, look, these guys don't even know the basics of the industry. They don't know the basics of the following. So there's no way to facilitate these people to achieve this without the right knowledge. So instead of being there for one day, they had to extend my day for 2 days and, of course, pay me for the 2 days. So the first day, I had to focus on teaching, training, just delivering knowledge on how things work. Before they were like, we were totally lost. You see? Then on day 2 now, I now became the expert, the facilitative consultant to now help them achieve the final deliverable, which what they were supposed to achieve. So that's what you can do. You can talk to the person, or you can try to manage it, depending on the case, depending on the situation, and that will definitely help you. Okay, but you will encounter that. So learn to adapt. Training in churches is usually difficult because both youth and adults align to some down rules. Can you skip some of this piece to ensure that the purpose of the workshop is met? Piece like what? Which piece are you skipping? Give me an example. Which piece do you want to skip to accommodate everybody? Which piece do you think you want to skip to accommodate both the youth and the adults? Because it's okay to have groups that there are adults and there are youth, but everybody came to learn the same skill. Okay, because there are some things that when you do, you are in trouble. You will think that you're doing it for easy stuff, right? Probably issues to instead help you to anticipate that is what will happen. So when it happens, you just need to be very clear about it. Because if you start, for example, there are some things that if you do, it's going to negatively affect how you run a workshop and the workshop process. So if people make up their mind to come attend a workshop, everybody's there for one shared purpose. The one shared purpose is they want to learn what you have to teach. So it becomes easier for you when the ground rules works for everybody. Everybody. But of course, your delivery method, you are conscious that in the group, there are young people and there are more adults. Maybe the way you give activities, the way you give examples, maybe in a way that they can accommodate. But also, we spoke about a few days ago that diversity is also important. It leads to more perspectives. Adults can share things from their perspective in a way that the youth will learn. The youth can share things from their innovative perspective and agile technologies in a way that the adult will learn. You also enjoy from that diversity of age group and culture. 2 different generations, for example. You understand? But let there be a standard baseline where everybody play at. It makes it easier for you to deliver and create a transformation. Because if you want to differentiate, you will notice that you'll be focusing on other groups and then minimizing on the other group. You have now defeated the purpose of your workshop. Somebody says, how do you choose the platform if it is virtual? Now, you can choose the platform if it is virtual, depending also on what you want to achieve. Okay, it depends on what you want to achieve, and also on your ethics and professionalism. Like me, I don't do WhatsApp trainings. People have asked me to, like, people do flyers, say WhatsApp. I always reject it. I say I don't think I can do WhatsApp group training. It's not my style. It's below my standard, and I don't do that. Right? So if you are doing trainings, if you are choosing Zoom or Google, you can communicate upfront. This training is on Zoom. So if you are registering, it should be on the flyer. Let people know. Like even this training, people come and say, will it be on WhatsApp? I say, no, it's on Zoom. Okay, my phone doesn't take Zoom on my network. I will say plain and plain, it's not for you. I'll give you another option. Okay, we do record and put on online. Can you, from the internet, can you watch later? You give more complaints, I'll be very straightforward for you. It's not for you. You cannot attend it. Okay, as simple as that. So also learn to be decisive when you're doing this. So what kind of workshop do you want to have? And also, what kind of target market are you looking at? You can do WhatsApp if you want. You can do Zoom if you want. You can do Google if you want. I prefer Zoom because Zoom has a lot of things that I can use my workshop effectively than Google Meet, than Skype, than StreamYard. These are all platforms that people use. And I also use these platforms depending on what I want to deliver. So it all depends. What is the purpose of your session and who are you targeting? Then you can choose the platform to use. It's not your job to, how can I know that my participants are conversant with the platform I want to use? No, it will already be on your flyer. If you have a WhatsApp group for the promotion, you're already indicating it there. So if people are raising complaints, you are very straightforward. This training happens on Zoom. Like when we did with you guys, we said, if you don't have Zoom on your phone, download it. You don't have it on your laptop, download it. Okay? So when you give the instruction, because you already decided the platform you will use during your preparation. And when you make it public, you're already letting people know. On the flyer, this training happens online and the platform is Zoom. So if anybody is paying for it or making up their mind to become a participant, they are sure that they can follow the training on Zoom easily. Okay, it's good to be straightforward. That's why you look at like our flyers. You always notice that we always mention the name of the platform there. So if you're joining, you know it is on Zoom. It's online. If it's WhatsApp, state WhatsApp. If you are, let's say for example, if you are targeting participants in Bamenda and in your local community, and you know that the network there is not that strong to do Zoom sessions, and you want to do WhatsApp or Telegram, that's good. That is also a condition determining or constraining you to use WhatsApp. That is also good. That's also a good reason for you to choose WhatsApp, right? But again, there are some trainings that you cannot do on WhatsApp effectively. They need to be live, because WhatsApp you have to record and do all of that. It has limitations. Same as, and that's why as a good trainer, one of the sessions I'm going to send to you is 40 online tools that every professional must know and know how to use. It's one of the trainings we're going to do, and I'll send to you. You're going to do that, okay? Very important, because there are some online tools that is your job to know how to use. You can quickly make decisions on online platforms to use when you know the platforms yourself. It's your job to know the platforms, how they work, their advantages and disadvantages. It's your job to know that. So you asking this question and for other people, also go and start researching. What are the advantages that Zoom has over Google? Try to use them over Microsoft Teams, over Skype, over StreamYard, over all of these streaming platforms and webinar platforms. Try and know them. Very important. Okay? Very good question. Another question? Can you separate your content and training materials in launching another new session? That is, if your materials are within the scope of the objective of the sponsor. I'm trying to understand the question. Is it that you are leading the same workshop and you have 2 sessions, 2 slides, 2 materials. Can you come on mic and ask a question? You must not text. I thought those who are texting have network issues, they cannot ask a question straightforward on the mic.
Okay, Doc, I'm on.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I was saying, can you separate your content, like if your materials that you have are more than what the sponsor requested, like you're training something and maybe you're training on branding and you found out that maybe you are also good at maybe graphic designing and it was not part of the program.
Okay, yeah.
Can you now launch? Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, yeah. Well, if you're a good trainer with a good heart and you have the time, you can decide and give them as a bonus, or you can upsell. If you're a businessman, you can upsell. Me, I always upsell. I will not say, okay, look, there's this training, I think that if you get it for your team, for your participants, it's going to help them. So you can upsell to them. So there are a couple of options. Number one, you can just decide and give a tip. The tip can also be to spike the need for them to request it to come back and train them on that thing they did not know that is important to them. Or number two, you can just be a good trainer and just fit into the training and give them as a bonus. Or number three, directly upsell to them. Tell the organizer or the person who invited you, okay, I think that your people need a training on mobile phone graphic design. I can give to you on a discount. I've done that several times. They hire me to come and train something different. I now look at it and I notice a gap in the team. And I say, okay, look, this is a gap I've noticed. This is a problem. This is a pain point. If you don't handle this, it will affect the business this way and this way and this way. I have this training that if I do with you, it is going to help you to definitely become better. Like, for example, let me get what happened today. A lady reached out to me from the US. She wants to start 2 companies and she needed a business plan. When I spoke to her, I noticed that she has never done a business before. Her background is in medical field, so she had no foundation in business at all. I was like, okay. I said, you need more than a business plan. You need some of my business courses. These are the business courses and they cost this much. You also need my business book on this, on how to succeed as an entrepreneur in any field. You need this book. You see, I upsell to her. I made her to see the reason that she needs. That's why it's called upselling. Okay, so you can upsell, you can just go ahead, use your discretion and create the more value, or you can just spike the interest and put them in a place where they would like to hire you back to come and further train their team to become better at what they do. Okay, good, very smart question. All right, it seems there are no more questions. Is that it? So, thank you again for those great questions. We'll run up the session here.